What's up, everybody? It's Robert Smith. Make sure you subscribe to the Money Time Coaching channel below so you don't miss any of this helpful content going forward. This book provides an inside glimpse of what it would be like to grow up in a home with rich parents opposed to a home where most people grow up, which are homes that are middle class and lower income. In many ways, knowing that I didn't grow up in a rich household, this book provided the experience of what having rich parents would actually feel like. So to me, in many ways, reading this book felt like I was a child learning many new things for the first time. But at the end of the book, I felt truly enlightened in a way I didn't think a book has ever made me feel. I grew up in a household where I heard stories about how money was the root of all evil. And after reading this book, it became clear that it's the lack of money that is the root of all evil. For the first time in my life, I realized that there was a money game being played, and it really helped me feel relieved to know that I finally knew how to keep score. So this book review will be divided into two parts. The first part will be a book review on the 6 lessons that the Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches, followed by the second part of the book review, which will be 7 steps that I found to be the most important to get started to apply the 6 lessons. 7 steps. Now the fun part, getting started. I'm going to highlight the important steps to remember when you get started in applying the 6 lessons that I mentioned previously. Number 1, you want to make daily choices. The power of choice is critical and it cannot be overstated. Poor people, as you know, have poor spending habits. Most people buy investments rather than first investing in learning about investing. And so this is why you want to make the choice to make sure you're prioritizing learning about investing, learning about building your portfolio, and learning about the market. Make those choices that are going to help you in the long term. Step number 2, you want to choose your friends carefully. The power of association is critical. The crowd that shows up late is slaughtered. Wise investors buy investments when it's not popular. Money is made on information. Remember that. Number 3, master a formula and then learn a new one. The power of learning quickly is critical in this day and age. Here's why. We live in an information age. Information is power. If you're unable to learn quickly or relearn, as mentioned previously, then you're going to be in a position where you're not going to be able to thrive and you're going to lose money because you're not going to be able to pivot and make the necessary choices that you need to make in a critical manner. And look, I get it. You may not have the answers to some of the choices that you need to make, and your decision making may be affected by perhaps your current situation. If that's the case, you want to reach out to somebody who you trust. Have a financial coach, have a financial counselor, talk to a financial planner, talk to somebody that you really can confide in to help you make better decisions. But you have to be able to learn quickly. And if you don't know how to make those decisions yourself, then rely on somebody you can trust who can help you work through those decisions. Step number 4, pay yourself first. The power of self-discipline is critical. You want to learn to read numbers because numbers tell a story. People who pay themselves first end up having more assets. People who pay everyone else first have less assets. You want to build up your assets first and then buy a nice car. Savings are only used to create money, not to pay bills. And this is what a lot of people have backwards. They use the money that they have saved to pay their bills, and as a result, doesn't create more money, and it puts them in a situation where they lower their net worth and they don't have that same money available to them to invest. Step number 5, pay your brokers well. The power of good advice cannot be overstated. People enjoy tipping people in the expense column all the time. Nowadays, people are even asked to tip for online orders or when they pick up at a takeout at a restaurant. And a lot of people are cheap and save money for people who actually make them money in the asset column. So I like that the author highlights this contradiction. If you want to make wealth and be wealthier, you got to appreciate the people who are making that wealth by tipping them. Don't tip those people for preparing your order for takeout. Don't tip for an online order when you did all the work. We got to rethink on how we're going about tipping because this tipping culture is definitely unethical in my opinion. I think we need to tip for value, not tip because we feel pressure to tip because that's the option that we see first and we feel for some reason we have to tip even though no value was added. Step number 6, use assets to buy luxuries. The power of focus. Direct money to its correct use. It's important to learn how to have money work for you. If you don't, then you'll find yourself in what the poor and the middle class are in, which is the rat race. The rat race is a pattern of getting up, going to work, paying bills. This is a pattern that repeats itself over and over and over again. In order to escape the rat race, you have to have enough passive income to cover your expenses. When this is done, then you will not have to get up and go to work to pay bills, because your passive income will cover these expenses, and then you can focus on what you really want. Focus on creating money to get what you want, not on borrowing money. If money is smarter than you, then you'll work for it for the rest of your life. Step number 7, teaching you shall receive. If you want something, you first need to give. Whenever you feel the need for something, whether it's money, a smile, love, or a friendship, give it first and it will come back in buckets. The more you teach, the more you earn. Be generous with what you have and make sure you are giving for the joy that giving itself brings, not giving simply to receive. A lot of my clients ask me, they say, Robert, I want to make more money. The first thing I ask them is, how much are you willing to give? In order to get money, you have to be able to give something of value, but whether it be your time, your information, or more importantly, value. So, if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment. I really want to know what your thoughts are on the book. If you've read it or if you feel like I've given you enough so you don't need to read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, please let me know what type of books you want me to review going forward. I'm curious to see what you guys put in the comments. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Subscribe now.